Welcome back, everyone. It's the Steel Target Paint Podcast. I am your host, Jeff Jones, with my co-host, Steve. You there?
What's up, Jeff? How are
Hey,
you?
Steve. I'm doing great, man. Life is good. Having a blast teaching people how to shoot steel challenge. I'm up to almost 40 students a week. I've running now 5 matches a month. We started running first and third Wednesday nights, and so far the first two were almost 100% full, well over 90% full. So, as a match director, it feels good when you put a match together and people show up for it. So, how about
Je-
yourself?
Jeff, do you feel bad at all getting all these people hooked on the crack corn and steel challenge?
I do not. I do not. We've got a mutual friend in Daniel Harris, and you've known him for a couple of years, but actually never met him. He
Yeah,
lives down here,
yeah.
and man, he every week he seems to be coming out with something new with regards to guns. He's got a couple of Volquartsens with a lot of your parts on them. He's got a bunch of Crazy Ivans
Yeah,
builds
probably
that he
five of
did.
those bad boys. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. He bought my original Lead Star, so his son Ty could shoot PCC.
Dude, his
And
son his son just got into it. He's a monster, isn't
yeah,
he? He's doing
lesson
really well.
he's having a blast. And yes, he's a very good shot. I'm hoping that soon he will be up on my uh I have a board that I've put up now that's got I call it the Wall of Fame. And if you make GM, you go up on the Wall of Fame. And on the other side, if you medal at Worlds, you go up on the board.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
yeah, giving back to the students, giving a little back to the
Yeah.
students, a little recognition there.
Man, I just can't help but think what happens because you sucker a lot of families into it, so it helps the guys because then they're kind of like, hey, honey, can we spend X amount of dollars on this or that? And then there were some of us other guys when we started in the sport that were hiding money from the boss. Like, sorry, honey, that didn't happen. Hey, I'll tell you this, Jeff, it was pretty funny. We were at SASP Nationals here a couple, I don't know, a month and a half ago or something like that.
Yep.
And I was just having a good time. And there's a guy there with his wife and kids, and they were checking out some stuff. And then he came back by himself, and then he said, "So how much is this?" And blah blah blah. So I told him the price, and I said, "Hey, we got a SASP National special going on." He goes, "What's that?" I said, "For 20 extra dollars, I'll write you a receipt for whatever you tell your wife that you paid for it."
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Well,
it was a good time.
we've always talked about how Steel Challenge is very family oriented. A lot of females shoot, a lot of juniors shoot, and going back over the time of the people I've coached, I mean, it started with the Landers, which was four kids, the mom and the dad. Then since then, the Hueys had trained with me.
Hmm,
Of course,
hmm.
both the sons are now in the military, and so, but all four of them trained with me. Uh, Ty and Daniel Harris, and then on the other side, I've got some husband and wife teams with Ernie and Denise, and John and Susan Paris, and now my
Yeah.
buddy Tom Cope, his 9-year-old son is now coming out and shooting matches. In fact, had him on the range yesterday, training some outer limits. And it's fun starting him that young, especially. Uh, he's I don't want to say he's not small, but he's a 9-year-old. He's got tiny hands, and he's shooting a Ruger. He's shooting a Volquartsen, and it is. I remember back when Johnny Lander was shooting. He was smaller like that, and the hands barely fit around the gun. But
Hmm.
you know, his name is Connolly, and Con sticks to it, man. And he was running. He ran it for the first time ever with no practice in the match on Wednesday night. And we shot like a 29. and he didn't care. He was out there shooting. And by the end of the day yesterday, after training with it, he was breaking eights, which
Man,
was
that's awesome.
he was ecstatic, just having so much fun. And it's interesting because you try to teach people different ways how to actually perform that movement
Hmm.
efficiently so you can pick up that.
Yeah.
And he plays baseball. So I said, okay. I said, do you ever play shortstop? He goes, yeah. I said, well, what happens if the ball is hit to your side? And he does the sideways movement. And I said, that's what I want you to do when you shoot. I said, do the exact same thing. Just pretend you're having to get over to that spot because you're playing baseball. Next thing you know, he's crushing the movement.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And then I got Max Lander, who is now 16 and about 6'10". He's not really that tall, but he's big. He's a big kid. Big long gait like a Lance Bratcher. Got him doing the uh I think you used to call it the Kurt Grime movement because Kurt did it has been doing it forever on outer
Hmm.
limits. But doing that three-step
Yeah,
movement.
Kurt's old. You can tell. You can tell him I said that. He's old. He's been doing it a long time. I still don't understand how he does it because he's got
I
short legs like
remember
me.
when we used to shoot outer limits uphill both ways in the
Back in
snow and
1988, back in Pyru.
um
Love you, Kurt.
but I mean Max he pulled a 307 with a pistol on outer limits.
Joys.
Yeah.
That's rolling. That's world class right there.
Yeah. Well, that's what I told him. I mean, let's face it, it was practice. It wasn't consistent.
Yeah,
He,
but still.
but still, to be able to move that fast and do that. So that's the joy of coaching for me is when you're able to help somebody get to that level and have that much
Yeah,
fun. So
that's really cool. Hey Jeff, this past
yes.
weekend, man, I've made the epic return to the Griffin Gun Club.
Yeah. How'd the
Dude,
match go?
it was good. It's smaller, man. It's for those that don't know, that's kind of that's the first steel challenge match I ever shot.
Right.
Phew, was at the Griffin Gun Club. That had to be, man, I'd have to go back in time. It had to be 15 years ago or somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's maybe 2010, somewhere in there. Anyway, but that's the
That's that
first.
that would that would
Yeah.
be 15 years.
Whew, man, it's I'm getting old, Jeff. It's tough to think back that far. But anyway, yeah, so that's a lot of memories there. Met a lot of people, a lot of world class shooters have
Mm-hmm.
shot there and come through there. There's a lot of bosses here in Atlanta that shoot both centerfire and rimfire and all that kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And we were talking before the podcast started. Being at their local matches, they have over 200 guns. I mean,
Yeah,
it
that was
was.
crazy. That was a multi-day event.
Yep.
I remember looking at the results of some of those matches and just going, I mean, this is a major.
Crazy.
This is a major as a level one.
Yeah, and Glenn Weber, he was the mastermind behind it. He did it for years, but local match, the entry fees were like $10 and $5, and I think
Yep.
kids were less expensive and all that kind of stuff. But he paid out, did a like a not paid out, but a lose class system. So you broke it into thirds, and then you had first, second, third. But you had people that would win bullets or $20 gift certificate to Autry's Armory over here in Fayetteville and stuff like
Hmm.
that. It was a really cool match and generate a lot of income for the club. But man, it was weird. I almost didn't because man, I've been working my butt off.
Yeah.
But so I almost almost didn't go, but decided to get up and get my stuff together and go at the last minute. Of course, I rolled in 2 minutes before the shooters meeting, but that's another story for another time. But yeah, I shot with a great group of
Oh, wait, you
guys,
were one
man.
of those guys?
Oh, I am
Nice. Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm on.
no, no.
I'm on
15
time.
minutes, my friend. As a match
No, no,
director,
no,
we
no. I'm
prefer
on.
15 minutes.
No, I called ahead of time, so it was fine.
Oh, okay. Fair enough then. That's cool.
Hey, get me signed up, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Anyway, so yeah, it was cool. It was well run, and man, there's some really good center fire shooters there. It looks a little different than what it did back then, but man, it was weird. It was a range of emotions, man. It was like
Hmm.
these are hollow grounds I'm walking on. There was met a lot of great people at that range and set a lot of personal bests at that range. It was crazy, man. It was
I
a good time.
still,
It was a good
I,
time.
I still remember the first time I came up there to shoot their major because they always kicked off the season,
Yep, yep.
and I relate the story to all my students, and it's something that you taught me back then, and I'll never forget. We were on Smoke and Hope,
Yep. Yeah.
and I had just shot four great strings. For me,
Yep.
I was in the low sixes,
Yeah.
mid to low sixes,
Hmm.
and I went, Steve, you want to say it? And you said, watch this. And I said, hold my beer. And I shot a 139 on the next string
Yeah.
with three misses.
Was it only three? I can't
It
remember.
would have been more. There was at least three. Okay.
But
and
it was a well
and
run, man.
and we laughed about it. But afterwards you said, you know, if you'd have just asked what was my worst time so far and
Yeah.
just beat that by a 1/100th of a second, you'd have improved your score.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was what, probably seven years
Yeah.
ago.
7 or 8. I think it was 2017, man. Or it could have
Yeah.
been 18. Could have been
And
18.
I still to this day will relate that story and say the same thing to my
That's cool.
students. I
That's
had another
cool.
piece. I'm like, I say, if you're a 1.6 shooter, why do you suddenly think you're a 1.3 shooter?
I could. I just missed that last one. I'm gonna make up time here. Watch this. Oh yeah. Yeah. That was cool.
Or one of my favorite ones is, if you're just going to go for it, why don't you save time, rack 5 rounds in your hand, throw them down range, and say, "Give me 30," because it's going to be worth the exact same amount.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I get going for it, I really do, but when you're shooting a major, that's the time to just beat that worst score. But I also remember, Griffin, when we shot there, and it was like
Oh.
37 degrees first shots. They had
There's.
burn barrels out.
Oh yeah. There's no way it was 30. I know it was
Maybe it
37,
was
dude.
less. Maybe it was less.
Dude, it felt like 23 degrees, man.
Yeah,
It was like, and then it was like, because you had to bulk up in the afternoon. I don't know if it got up to 60, but it was like, holy
yeah.
cow, it was warm. I remember that early on, like, I think it was 16 and 17 or 17 and 18. I used to shoot 6 guns. Oh my gosh,
Hmm.
that was stupid. I've learned my lesson. That was stupid.
Six
Yeah,
guns at a local match.
yeah. Oh, it was fun. Yeah, it was good.
That's good. Well,
It was a good time.
speaking of matches, let's talk about what's coming up here. So,
Oh, there's a couple good ones coming up for sure.
absolutely, next weekend in Idaho, you've got the Idaho State Championships. Our
That'd be a
good
good
friend
one.
Amy Williams is putting that one on, and
Yeah.
I did look at the registrations on that, and the turnout looks like it's very strong. Where they're almost going to have a full match. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
we're sponsoring that match. That'll be cool. Hopefully it goes well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And then 2025 Indiana State
Oh yeah.
Championships
Oh
coming
yeah.
up.
Yeah,
Um,
Doug scraped that together last minute.
yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Good man.
Then, so that's going to be first weekend in September.
Yep.
Looks like third weekend in September. We've got Area 8, which is going to be up in Pennsylvania. I'm sure our good friend Kurt Omensetter is going to be involved in that, even though he spends a lot of time down here in Florida. Um, I think he still maintains residence up there, so I'm sure he'll be at that match. Right after that, actually, excuse me, same weekend, you got the Cornhusker Classic
Hmm.
out in Nebraska. 2 weeks after that, you've got Area 2, which is going to be out in Arizona. And then the week after that, no, excuse me, same weekend as Area 2, you've got Area
Yeah.
6, which is going to be
Yeah.
up in Cherryville, North Carolina.
Yeah, it's I was talking to Sandra. She's the one that is putting that match together.
Yep.
And I think when I talked to her, man, there was probably 185 guns and
It
been
has
spreading the word
blown
and
up.
Oh
It is
yeah.
blown up. It's up to 294 earlier this week, so we might be over 300.
Oh yeah,
Um,
there's spots left on Saturday and Sunday. And oh, hey
yep.
Jeff, I shouldn't say that out loud because I gotta sign up.
There may be slots available after Steve signs up. So
Maybe.
I'm actually going to be it's going to be my first duty as a range master at that match.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, yep. So they have my understanding is the way that the range is set up, they've got 4 bays in one area and 4 bays in another area. And they're within walking distance, but
Sure.
instead of making people start at the beginning and go to the end,
Yeah, they rotate the four and then
we're
go
gonna
down.
we're gonna shoot
Yeah.
zones.
Yeah.
So you rotate the 4 and then you move the other one and rotate the 4. And in doing that, I'm gonna be zone RM for that match.
Oh, that's cool.
So, but yeah, there's a lot of people in Area 6 that are still supporting that match, and that's fantastic. I still do help out and do some of the uh, slot policy stuff, helping
Hmm.
Zach out with that since I wrote the program for it.
Yeah.
And 294 is setting up to be, one of the top area matches. You know,
It'll be
um,
well over 300. I bet you it'll be 350 guns, if not more.
that's going to be a full bore.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome. So that is that. And then let's see. That takes us through the end of September. And right in the beginning of November, you've got the Ohio Steel Classic and the New Jersey State Steel Challenge Championships, first weekend in October. So there are still a lot of, oh, you know what? Take that back. And this is the one that this is interesting. I wonder if I think the Indiana State match is the one that has been moved, which is now going to be in Red Brush because that's actually
Yeah.
going to be, yeah. So I think that Indiana State match that was set up for beginning of September, that's been
Hmm.
moved and it's now going to be in Red Brush. And that's sponsored by our good friend Worthwine.
Hmm.
I went blank on his first name.
Lee.
Lee, thank you. Sorry, Lee, if you're listening. So yeah, so
Well,
there's
well,
still a lot of majors left in this year.
we got the World Rimfire match coming up.
Yep, that's coming up in
RCSA.
end of October. I'm gonna be there looking to have a good time. That it
Let's
was a blast last
see.
year.
When is that match? I'm looking it up right. Yeah, October 16th through the 19th.
Yep,
And then 2 weeks later, we've got the 2025 Creekside Custom Mississippi State Shields Challenge Championship, in case if you were wondering, Jeff. And that is going to be it starts on Halloween. How do you like that?
that is fantastic. There it is. Yep, I see it there. That is great. Oh man, if you come dressed in a costume, do you get special prizes?
Yes.
Oh, well, maybe I need to sign up for that match.
How many? Yeah, I was gonna pull it up and see how many people she's got signed up. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good. We're partnering on
Hey, Steve. You talk.
yeah.
We always everybody I'm sure realizes that before we start the podcast, we talk and we banter back and forth. Do you want to tell them the big news for 2026?
Oh no, I mustn't. That's
Can
you.
I?
That's
Can I?
absolutely.
Ladies and
Absolutely.
gentlemen, for the ninth annual West Florida Steel Challenge Championships, it is now going to be the ninth annual West Florida Steel Challenge Championships presented by Creekside Custom
Heck yeah, man.
at the Wyoming Antelope Club. So I'm now going to take over the longest name in history of a match.
I like it. I like it.
Yep,
No,
Steve and
that's
I
gonna be fun,
decided,
man.
and Creekside will be there,
Yeah.
and if you guys did your first tent at the Georgia State match.
Yeah, earlier this year, which has been
And
crazy,
I
crazy.
looked I looked over there every time I was shooting, and I don't think there was never or ever not anybody at your tent.
Man, we're just humbled by the support
That's
of the community,
fantastic.
man. I'm living a dream over here, and it's awesome that my wife's involved. And yeah, it's been crazy, Jeff. The last man, if you just go back the last 9 months, our business has been really good. We're up 350% over last year, which is up a good bit from the year prior. We're just kind of getting going and stuff, and
Yep.
that's why we're sponsoring so many matches, and I make the joke all the time. Well, really, that's why my wife's getting involved in the business, so I don't give it all away. But I just think it's really important to give back to the community and some of these folks, and that's why we're pretty big supporter of some of these like some of these matches. It's we're gonna help Doug out with the Indiana match a little bit more than what we're going to. But the Mississippi match, we're the title sponsor and try to do that for Area 6 as well. But it's my good friends at Ruger already claimed that spot. So we'll have a strong presence there in the Georgia match and the West Florida match. And, we'll, yeah, it's been crazy, man. Very thankful, but we've got a lot of cool things we're working on, Jeff. You've seen some
Is there
snippets and previews out there, and
I
there's going to
I've
be
I've
some
seen some
teasers out there
stuff
next
is
week too.
for those that maybe haven't, can is there anything you can talk about for new stuff? Can you say
Well,
anything?
yeah, I'll throw one out there that there. It's a couple. It's a couple step process. So one of the manufacturing partners that we've had, we actually acquired that relationship through the purchase of Crazy Ivan. They made some parts for Crazy Ivan, and we've rekindled that relationship. And
Mm-hmm.
so we put a teaser out there last week. It's actually the first prototype, and that's what I shot this weekend. Man, I felt like I could shoot faster than I actually could because I had just a good cheek weld and very comfortable stock. So for the Crazy Ivan chassis, it takes a buffer tube, but we made an adapter for a carbon fiber tube, and it's a two carbon fiber tube setup. So you
Mm-hmm.
have the top carbon fiber tube, you put a cheek riser on, and then there's an adjustable mount that goes on it, so you can move the bottom one. You can kind of cant it or whatever. And we've had a pretty streamlined butt stock, which is aluminum. We still sell them, and I still use it, and I think they're nice. And then I said, hey, how do we get into the little bit more premium side of this? And so there's other people that make adjustable butt stocks, but I think what we've got super freaking cool. It's a prototype. It's a clamp that goes on this on our carbon fiber tube, and it articulates 15 degrees one way, 30 degrees the other way in terms of backwards and forward, and then you can
Mm-hmm.
can it to the side. But we're actually you can run it with or without. We've got a nice cushioned recoil pad that goes on there. Oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
it's so freaking nice. That's what I shot this
Nice.
weekend. So I've got some
Mm-hmm.
samples of that coming. I think Todd asked about it online. So what we're doing is I should have it maybe no later than this time next week, hopefully Monday, Tuesday, is we're gonna adapt that system and make it eligible to be on a PCC or even with our Crazy Ivan chassis. And we're creating a clamp that holds the carbon fiber tube below it, but it goes right on a buffer tube. And then
Oh, so you still have your
yeah,
standard buffer tube. You wouldn't put a
yes,
stock on it. You'll have this
that's correct.
adapter
That's correct.
that it would
Yep.
allow for the
Yep.
lower, right in the cheek. Well, the adjustability that you need.
Yep, yep. And then, we've got two different options for cheek riser. One's rounded, but the one that I've always liked because of a stock that I shot in the past, and it was actually the most comfortable I've ever felt shooting a rifle in my life, was it's got approximately a 20-degree flat space on it. Because if you put your hand up to your cheek and you put your index finger, middle finger on your cheekbone, and then you push your palm towards towards your jaw. Again, everybody's face is a little bit different, and then keep that same angle, put it out in front of your face. That angle is, for most people, is 20 degrees, and so that's what
Okay.
we've created with our the new cheek riser. So all this stuff is, prototypes, and probably be for sale in the next couple of weeks or so. We've
Okay.
talked about some aluminum options. This stuff is nylon SLS printed, and it's really sturdy. Besides the won't get into the secret sauce around the recoil pad, but that's a custom made recoil pad just for us, and man, it's super super cool. So there'll be an option to have it with it and to have it without it. So yeah, so that's pretty darn cool. But I got another prototype of another product that there'll be a teaser out next week that I installed last night. I'm digging it, man. We can talk offline. I'll tell you what it is, and then I've got another
I'm
prototype of
sworn to
another part
secrecy.
coming. Yeah,
I am
yeah,
sworn to secrecy. I will not tell anyone. Well, this is
and
great, Steve.
yeah, man, it's cool.
I don't shoot a lot of rimfire rifle. I've been still focusing on the centerfire guns. I mean, I shoot a lot of rimfire pistol, and uh, but they're in the back of my mind. At some point, I'm going to have to give those up, and when I do, yeah, there's going to be another custom chassis. More than likely the OG Crazy Ivan coming
Hmm.
down here to me, but it's going to be blingy.
Yeah,
You're gonna get carte blanche and just like, yeah.
I will.
Can you do
I will.
anything in plaid? Have you ever Cerakoted in plaid?
No, there's probably a reason why that's a hassle, but we could probably
Yeah.
laser engrave something. But the one of the products that's coming out that'll have a prototype next week is for the Mark IV pistol.
Okay.
We've got two other products. One is in engineering, and the other one is still conceptual for the Mark IV. So there's a couple other things that we'd like to do with that, and then we're moving on to some other initiatives with some other platforms and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's been great, and I will say this, man. I thank you to everybody that has purchased and provided feedback on the 1922 trigger, man. That thing's been it's been crazy how many we've sold. I mean, it's just my wife and I were processing another 1,000 of them last night. So it's
Wow.
been, dude, it's been crazy, crazy, crazy busy. So thank you to everybody for your support. Really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to us, and that's helping us fund some other cool projects to hopefully get you some cool stuff out there that you really, really like, and make your gun feel comfortable and help you customize it.
All right. Fantastic. Well, it's about 20 minutes to 1. I've got to eat some lunch. I don't know about you. This is your lunch hour. You're working. I don't work anymore, but I still got to eat. Um,
Amen to that.
I think we covered everything that we hope to cover today. Getting some information out to the people. Um,
Oh,
as you can
hey,
tell.
Jeff,
Oh yeah, go
Jeff.
ahead. What do you got?
Hey, did you want to talk just for a couple of moments about the stages?
Yeah, that was actually I'm glad you brought that up because that was something we did want to talk about. So, I was talking with Zach just about a bunch of stuff, and I just said in passing, how did the submissions of stages go? Because we actually at the WAC got together and built 5 stages and then shot them, and
Mm,
then submitted those with a bunch of notes from what we took uh, from them, whether we actually like them or not. And we had some
yeah.
burners and we had some very technical ones. It was a nice eclectic mix. And so we submitted those. So I just said, in talking with Zach, I said, how was the submission overall? And he said it was really good. And they've got some really good ones. And the current committee is looking into all the different stages, and then they're going to internally take votes and present them back to each other and solidify that up to saying, okay, here are the top I'm not sure how many they're going to do, but for sake of argument, let's just say here's the top 5, and then that's going to go out to a survey.
Oh, cool. Good
So,
deal.
and it probably won't be an odd number because, or maybe it'll be 5 of each because we've got stages that were built from the outer limits plates set and stages built from the speed option plate set.
Sure.
So, but according to Zach, that's moving along. Also, I had a bunch of people saying, why aren't we, why can't we start shooting rimfire revolver now? And I
Heck
said,
yeah.
well, technically you can. It's called rimfire pistol. And
Open and iron.
I did that. And I did that last weekend or 2 months ago at Volusia, and just to see what it was like to shoot that in an 8-stage match. Had an absolute blast. Never thought I would
Yeah.
like the gun, having a hoot with it.
Cool.
And I'm looking forward to seeing how many people are actually going to shoot that in 2026. There's a lot of people who said they would. 75% of the people who responded said, yeah, we should add it. Let's see how many of them actually shoot it. I've seen
Yeah.
yours. I mean, will you actually shoot that beautiful gun? Because it's pretty snazzy.
I shot it, I think, at every single Metal Madness I've been at besides the last one.
Oh,
Because
awesome.
my contract won't allow me to shoot that one, Jeff. But I've got a GP 122 that
Right.
yeah, we got to do some trigger work on that bad boy. It's on my to-do list, but yeah, no, I love shooting a revolver. I feel like a little kid again, It's
Absolutely.
yeah, it's really cool.
But yeah,
It'll
so
be fun.
anyways, that's going to be first of the year. RRO and RRI will be
Hmm.
provisional divisions. I did so Marcello at the
Yep.
WAC, he's our gunsmith and he loves revolvers, but he's an iron sight guy. So he made a deal and he got himself a 617. Well, I had bought an iron sight fiber optic front sight for my gun to have him put
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Well, then he tells me about his deal that he just got this gun. I'm like, okay, take my sight, put it on your gun. I said, if I want to shoot irons, I'll borrow yours. If you want to shoot optics, you borrow mine.
Sure.
So neither one of us has to invest in a second gun to be able to shoot both divisions. But I brought out the iron sight this week to shoot some outer limits, and yeah, it's iron sights.
Man, I've got another engraved 617 a 6 inch. I never shot that one in competition because I had so much fun with that 4 inch gun.
Right.
Yeah, that was fun.
The
But
the iron sights
yeah,
are a challenge. They're a challenge.
well, I'm getting some Hogue goodies. Some they
Yeah,
custom make the wooden big butt grip. So I
that's
got a
what I
couple of
have
those
on
coming.
mine.
Yeah,
That's what
they're
I have on
nice.
mine.
Yeah, they're
They
nice.
feel really they feel really nice on your hand.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff,
All
it was a
right.
pleasure, sir. It was good talking with you.
Same here. Thanks everybody. Don't forget, if you are shopping at the rangestore.net, you can use ST Podcast 10 for 10% off your order. All right.
Awesome.
Thanks again, Steve. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, see you, Jeff.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.